Paul Harrell, weekdays from 4 to 6. Learn more at paulharrell.com.
Hour number 2. Thank you so much for being with us. My name is Paul. You found the intersection of conservative ideas and reality, where we are building a liberty machine. And I want to welcome to the program for the first time, we've got the Republican candidate for Land Commissioner, Mr. Tommy Land is with us. Tommy, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
Oh, man. So I'm just going to get it out of the way.
Okay.
Your last name is Land, and you're running for Land Commissioner.
Yes, sir, Paul. I was born for the job.
That's a great response. So tell us, why did you want to get in to this race?
Okay. My experience, my life experience, I've been a homeowner since I was 19 years old. I've been involved in real estate, owning it and selling it, and I understand the opportunities that come along with being a property owner. And then my wife became county assessor in Cleveland County, Arkansas. And I got a good idea of how county tax structure works. And as I looked at that county tax structure and I looked at the opportunities that Americans are so blessed to have with the opportunity to own property, own real estate, I started looking at state positions and seeing how they could affect those things in our lives. And the state land commissioner is the office that just came to mind. And I'd met the current land commissioner in 2010. He came to a prayer breakfast at my church. John Thurston.
Yeah, he's running for Secretary of State, I believe, in a primary.
That's correct.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's correct. I met John in 2010 at a prayer breakfast at my church, and liked him very well. And I've watched the office since that time. The office has been brought into a situation where I believe they're very transparent. They operate on time. Checks are delivered to the county treasurer when they should be. And as I looked at that, I just made up my mind that I wanted to be involved in that.
Yeah. So tell us, Land Commissioner. A lot of people may not even know that that's a constitutional office. They don't even know that. And so what do they do? What does the Land Commissioner do?
Well, I can tell you, Paul, when you walk up to someone and you say, "My name's Tommy Land and I'm running for county judge," they immediately have a good idea of how you're going to affect their life.
Yeah.
When you walk up to someone and say, "My name's Tommy Land and I'm running for Land Commissioner," you get a blank look on your face and they say, "That's nice."
Yeah.
And so it's a difficult office to run for in the fact that it's not a well-known office. But the Land Commissioner's office, probably the number one duty of the Land Commissioner's office is the disposition of tax delinquent real estate in the state of Arkansas. When property becomes tax delinquent on the county level, about 2 years, the county collector attempts to find someone to pay the taxes. And failing that, then it's certified to the Land Commissioner's office. And then the Land Commissioner's office spends another 2 years trying to find someone to pay those taxes. And then it finally comes up for auction in the county where it's located.
So why don't they call your office tax collector then?
Well, because Land Commissioner sounds a lot more acceptable.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It sure
Hi,
does.
I'm Tommy Land, and I'm running for tax collector. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't want you, buddy. But no, Land Commissioner's office does that. They also deal with mineral rights on state-owned property, which I believe is it's a growing issue right now, and I believe it's going to continue to grow because the technology and drilling is improving all the time, and I think you'll see areas in Arkansas that we have never drilled in before. I think you'll see them beginning to drill in those, so mineral rights will be a more important issue. And then also the Land Commissioner's office oversees the permit process for sand and gravel mining in Arkansas rivers.
Okay. Wow. Well, okay. So tell me about, you're running as a Republican. Tommy Land, he's running as Land Commissioner. You're not ever going to forget that. Tell me about why Republican? Why is the Republican Party? What does that mean to you?
Well, when I first became politically involved, the thing that drew my attention to the Republican Party is this. I am a strong pro-life person. And over the years, my wife and I have both taken a stance, a pro-life stance, and the Republican Party has a pro-life stance.
Yeah.
And so that definitely attracted us to the party. And then as I got to know the Republican Party even better, principles like Second Amendment rights, I'm very strong on the Second Amendment, smaller government, individual liberties, Those are principles of the Republican Party that I tell you are my principles. I am a Republican because of my principles. And the truth is, if the Republican Party sometime in the future should abandon those principles, then I guess I won't be a Republican. I'll be whatever upholds those principles.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me ask you this. And this is maybe outside of the platform of the Republican Party. This is kind of just more general conservative philosophy. But so one of the jobs of the land commissioner, you said, was to, you've got county delinquent taxes. You're talking about property taxes.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then eventually that gets passed on to you. You guys are trying to find it. But it is true that if you don't pay your property taxes, you're eventually going to lose your property, right? I mean, that's
Correct.
the end result.
That is
right?
correct.
So, and I got people that text me and they call me, and they all talk about how they just have a huge problem with property taxes. Now, I know it's I know that I'm not asking. I know it'd be a huge deal to say, hey, we're going to do away with the property. I get all that, and I know it's at a local level and everything. But from a philosophical point of view, a lot of people get upset when they realize that they really never truly own their land. I mean, do you see that? I mean, what are your thoughts on never truly owning your land? Or
I'm not sure that I would really necessarily agree with that statement.
Okay.
But because I unfortunately pay taxes on the groceries I buy, and believe me, they're mine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do see property taxes. I wish we had another way to pay for county government and county services.
Yeah.
Schools, county roads, things like that. I really do. Because to a certain extent, it almost seems like you are penalizing a person who is a property owner. But it's
it really does. And when you go to vote for the property, everybody gets to vote, but not everybody's going to pay.
That's exactly
That's
right.
always been a problem with me because I know everybody would really freak out if. To me, I would see two options moving forward. These are just my ideas. Only property owners who own a property that's going to be taxed in that area need to be allowed to vote, or everybody that votes for it. We have to divide whatever let's say they're trying to build a school. Well, let's divide that up equally among all the voters.
Sure.
But of course that wouldn't work because nobody would be able to pay it because. So, but I mean, it's a fascinating debate, and I'm sure it's going to continue to go on.
And of course, that is the issue of property tax, real estate property taxes, and the millage rate or the minimum millage rate is set in the Arkansas Constitution. So it would take a constitutional amendment to do away with property tax. But it is an issue, and one of the things that the Constitution, the Arkansas Constitution, talks about property taxes, about all taxes. It says that they should be fair and equal. Okay, and I tell you what, in my lifetime, as hard as we might try, things just never all seem to work out to where they're truly fair and equal.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't like it, and I'm not
defending it. I think that may have
everything.
something to do with the fact that we're human beings, and we really are incapable of perfection.
That's exactly right. That's exactly. And, I think that's one of the issues with government and the growth in government. When you look at human nature, is it human nature to be involved in something and make it smaller? That's not human nature. Human nature is when you're involved in something, you want it to grow, whether it be a church or a business or whatever. The thing is, we just have to have people in office that will fight that human nature.
Yeah. No, I agree with that statement. That's exactly right. The benefits of smaller government or the benefits of our liberty are not intuitive. They don't come natural.
I agree.
And that's what was so crazy about the first 100 years of America's existence is, for the most part, for the people here, we wanted to be dependent on ourselves. We didn't want.
That's correct.
But it's the last 100 years that we've kind of just reversed course, and now we do want bigger government. And so it's certainly a mentality shift.
Yes, it is. When you look back at the first 100 years, you see people that were taught by their parents to be individuals and to be self-reliant. And as time went on, and I believe with good intentions, the government became more involved in people's lives. And so people got used to the government providing those things.
It's always the game right there.
And you know, one thing, I just tell you, in our society, we need to encourage parents to be involved in teaching their children to be self-reliant.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. Well, last question. We're talking with Tommy Land. He's a Republican candidate for land commissioner. Now, you don't have any opposition right now, right, in the primary?
No, I do have a.
You do?
Yes, I do have an opponent.
Okay, you do have an opponent. So tell us, you're in the area, and you're just in the area to, campaign, meet some folks. You got some meetings and stuff tomorrow, I'm assuming?
Yes, that's correct. Today, I came up early today, and I visited the fair this afternoon and handed out some campaign literature and talked to some people and met some people there. And here I'll be on your show. Tomorrow morning at 6, I'll be having some breakfast with some folks in eastern Craighead County and enjoying breakfast there. And then tomorrow evening, I will be on my way to Cross County. That's Wynn. And I have a meeting there tomorrow night there.
All right. Well, making the rounds in Northeast Arkansas.
You
Sounds
bet.
to me like you're hitting the right places.
I'm trying to.
So, all right. Tommy Land, I appreciate it, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Folks, we're going to go to break. The Liberty Machine rolls on back in a minute.